In our fast-paced, results-driven world, it's easy to get fixated on the outcome. We're constantly measuring ourselves against benchmarks, comparing our progress to others, and defining our success by the results we achieve. It's natural to want to see tangible outcomes for our efforts, but when we place too much emphasis on the results, we risk missing the most important part of the journey, the growth that happens along the way. Focusing solely on results creates a narrow, short-term mindset. It encourages us to chase after immediate gratification, to make decisions based on instant rewards, and to define our self-worth by external achievements. But the truth is, results are often out of our control. We can work tirelessly, do everything right, and still not achieve the exact results we hoped for. This is not a reflection of our abilities or our worth. It's simply part of the process. When we focus solely on results, we create an environment where success feels fragile and fleeting. We become overly reliant on outcomes as proof of our value, and we begin to tie our identity to what we achieve rather than who we are becoming. This leads to stress, frustration, and ultimately burnout. We start seeing setbacks as failures rather than opportunities for learning. We may even begin to fear failure, seeing it as something that defines us instead of something that helps us grow. On the other hand, when we focus on growth, we adopt a more sustainable and fulfilling approach. Growth is a continuous journey, not a destination. It's about making progress, learning from mistakes, and improving our skills over time. Unlike results, growth is something we have complete control over. We decide how much effort we put in, how much we're willing to learn, and how much we're willing to stretch ourselves outside of our comfort zones. The focus shifts from the destination to the journey, from the finish line to the steps that lead us there. Focusing on growth requires a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "What did I achieve?" we ask, "What did I learn?" Instead of measuring our success by external outcomes, we measure it by the progress we make toward becoming better versions of ourselves. Growth is internal. It's about developing resilience, cultivating discipline, and expanding our knowledge. It's about pushing through obstacles with the belief that every challenge is an opportunity to improve. When we focus on growth, we give ourselves the freedom to fail, and we learn how to fail productively. Mistakes become invaluable lessons, not signs of weakness or failure. We start to see each setback as part of the process, each obstacle as an opportunity to grow stronger. Failure is no longer something to be avoided, but something to be embraced because it's through failure that we learn what works and what doesn't. Without failure, we would never have the chance to adapt, innovate, and improve. Every time we encounter failure, we grow a little bit more resilient, more creative, and more capable. The beauty of focusing on growth is that it frees us from the constant need to prove ourselves. When we measure success by growth, we stop comparing ourselves to others. We stop seeking validation from the outside world, and instead, we look inward to assess our progress. We stop worrying about whether we're ahead or behind, and we focus on whether we're improving. This internal measure of success helps us stay grounded and centered in our purpose. It reminds us that our worth is not defined by our results, but by our continuous commitment to becoming better. Growth is also a lifelong process. Unlike results, which are finite and can be achieved and then checked off a list, growth is infinite. It's something we can always strive for, no matter how much we've achieved or how successful we are. Even at the highest levels of accomplishment, there's always room for growth. The most successful people are not those who are satisfied with their achievements, but those who continue to seek improvement, even when they've reached the top. They understand that the journey never ends, and that there is always something more to learn, something more to improve. By focusing on growth, we develop a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. When our focus is solely on results, we can easily lose sight of why we started in the first place. We can become fixated on the external rewards, money, recognition, titles, and lose sight of the intrinsic rewards, the satisfaction of learning, growing, and becoming better at what we do. Growth is what makes the journey worthwhile. It's what keeps us motivated, even on the toughest days. It gives us the strength to keep going, knowing that we're not just working for a result, but for the person we're becoming in the process. Focusing on growth also allows us to be more patient with ourselves. We understand that progress takes time. We give ourselves the grace to move at our own pace, knowing that every small step forward counts. It's easy to get discouraged when we don't see immediate results, but when our focus is on growth, we trust that the results will come in time. The small, consistent improvements we make each day add up to something significant over time. We don't need to have everything figured out in one go, and we don't need to be perfect. All that matters is that we keep moving forward, one step at a time. The key to true success and fulfillment lies in the commitment to growth. Results are temporary. They are the byproducts of growth. When we focus on growth, we are investing in the long-term success and well-being of ourselves. Growth creates lasting change, and it's through that growth that we create meaningful impact, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of those around us as well. When we focus on growth, we can look back with pride, knowing that we didn't just achieve a result, we became better, stronger, and more capable in the process. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth, yet it is often overlooked or undervalued. It requires us to step back from the hustle and bustle of our daily lives and take a moment to look inward. It's the act of intentionally examining our thoughts, actions, and behaviors with the goal of understanding ourselves more deeply and improving our future actions. But what does it truly mean to reflect? And why is it so crucial for growth? At its core, self-reflection is about being honest with ourselves. It's about looking at our actions, our decisions, and our results without the lens of judgment or self-criticism. Instead, it's about inquiry and curiosity. We ask ourselves, why did I respond that way? What motivated that decision? What could I have done differently? In this process, we don't seek to shame ourselves for mistakes, but to learn from them, to understand why we acted the way we did, and how we can make different choices in the future. The power of self-reflection lies in its ability to illuminate patterns in our behavior that we might otherwise miss. Many of us live on autopilot, reacting to situations based on ingrained habits, unconscious biases, or emotional impulses. Without reflection, we continue down the same paths. We gain awareness of those patterns. We begin to notice when we are triggered, when we fall into negative behaviors, or when we are acting out of fear or insecurity. This awareness is the first step toward change because we cannot change what we do not recognize. Self-reflection also allows us to gain a clearer understanding of our values, beliefs, and goals. As we navigate the complexities of life, it's easy to get caught up in the demands of others, the expectations of society, or the pressures of achievement. We often do things because we feel we should, or because we are trying to meet external standards. But without reflecting on our own values, we risk living a life that is disconnected from who we truly are and what we deeply care about. Self-reflection is the space where we reconnect with our authentic selves. It helps us discern whether our actions align with our values or whether we are simply going through the motions. Moreover, self-reflection provides clarity on our goals. We all have aspirations, but sometimes those aspirations are vague or ill-defined. By regularly reflecting on our progress, we can assess whether we're truly moving toward our goals or whether we are being distracted by short-term desires or external pressures. Reflection helps us refine our vision, adjust our course, and make more intentional decisions. It's about finding alignment between our actions and our aspirations. When we are clear on our goals, we're more motivated and driven, as every step we take feels purposeful. One of the most significant benefits of self-reflection is its ability to foster emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and understand our emotions as well as the emotions of others, and use this awareness to guide our thinking and actions. When we reflect on our emotional reactions, we gain insight into what triggers us and why. We learn to manage our emotions, respond more thoughtfully to challenges, and build stronger relationships with others. Reflection helps us recognize patterns in how we react to stress, conflict, and even success. We become more in tune with our emotional landscape and can make better decisions as a result. In addition to enhancing our emotional intelligence, self-reflection also strengthens our decision-making abilities. By regularly reflecting on past decisions, we can identify what worked and what didn't. We can explore the reasons behind our choices and the consequences they brought. This kind of reflection helps us build a more informed perspective, which we can use to make better choices in the future. We begin to understand the nuances of our decision-making process, whether it's about career moves, relationships, or day-to-day choices. The more we reflect, the more we sharpen our ability to make decisions that are aligned with our true purpose and values. Self-reflection also plays a critical role in our ability to cultivate resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments. When we face adversity, it can be easy to become discouraged or lose sight of our strengths. Self-reflection helps us recognize the lessons in every experience, including failure. Instead of seeing setbacks as permanent roadblocks, reflection allows us to see them as temporary obstacles, learning opportunities that provide us with the tools to move forward. Reflection helps us remember past successes, even in difficult times, reinforcing our belief in our own resilience. It reminds us that we have overcome challenges before and we will continue to do so. Additionally, self-reflection is essential for building stronger relationships. When we take the time to reflect on how we interact with others, we can gain a deeper understanding of our communication styles, our emotional responses, and our role in the dynamics of the relationship. Reflection allows us to see where we may have been defensive, judgmental, or closed off, and helps us develop more empathy and understanding toward others. It also gives us the opportunity to acknowledge our strengths as a communicator, a friend, or a partner. By reflecting on how our behavior impacts others, we can take more responsibility for our actions and create healthier, more authentic connections. Self-reflection is also vital for creativity and innovation. When we take a step back and reflect, we allow our minds the space to think more deeply, to make new connections, and to explore new possibilities. Reflection gives us time to pause, reset, and shift our perspective. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of work and deadlines. But taking time to reflect allows us to step outside the noise and think about our work from a fresh angle. It helps us come up with new solutions, ask new questions, and challenge the status quo. Reflection nurtures creativity by giving our minds room to breathe. In essence, one that continuously invites us to learn, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. Failure! It's a word that often brings up feelings of discomfort, fear, and disappointment. It's something that most of us try to avoid at all costs. From an early age, we are taught that failure is something negative, something to be ashamed of or hidden. We learn to associate failure with weakness, incompetence, and a lack of success. As a result, we develop a fear of failure, a fear that keeps us from taking risks, pushing ourselves, or even trying in the first place. But what if failure was not something to be feared or avoided, but rather something to be embraced? What if we viewed failure not as an endpoint, but as a necessary and invaluable part of the learning process? In reality, failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential component of success. Every successful person, whether in business, sports, art, or any other, never experienced the necessary growth and development that leads to mastery. When we embrace failure as a learning opportunity, we shift our mindset. We stop seeing failure as a reflection of our worth or ability and begin to view it as a tool for improvement. Instead of allowing failure to discourage us, we can use it as a springboard for growth. Every mistake, every setback, every time we fall short of our expectations is an opportunity to learn something new. It's a chance to ask ourselves, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What can I learn from this experience that will make me stronger and more capable in the future? In this way, failure becomes not just acceptable, but necessary, an integral part of the journey towards success. One of the key benefits of embracing failure is that it helps us develop resilience. Life is filled with challenges and obstacles, and we will inevitably face moments of disappointment, loss, and failure. However, when we view failure as a natural and even beneficial part of the process, we build the resilience necessary to keep going. Instead of giving up or shrinking away from future challenges, we develop the mental and emotional strength to rise again, learn from our mistakes, and keep moving forward. Resilience is not built by avoiding failure, but by facing it head-on, learning from it, and using it as fuel to propel us forward. Failure also teaches us the value of persistence. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go according to plan, but those who succeed are often the ones who keep going despite repeated failures. When we fail, we are presented with a choice. We can either quit or we can persist. Embracing failure means choosing persistence. It means accepting that setbacks are temporary and that the path to success is rarely a straight line. Those who are able to persist through failures and challenges often achieve greater success because they develop the ability to adapt, evolve, and keep going when others might give up. Another crucial lesson we can learn from failure is the importance of taking risks. In our desire to avoid failure, we often play it safe, sticking to what is familiar and comfortable. But growth and innovation rarely come from staying in our comfort zone. Taking risks requires courage and a willingness to fail. But when we embrace failure as part of the learning process, we become more willing to take those risks. We understand that failure is not a sign to give up, but an opportunity to try something new, to experiment, to explore opportunities. In fact, some of the most groundbreaking innovations and discoveries in history were made possible because someone failure. We would never challenge the status quo or question the norms or come up with a solution. Moreover, failure teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are not invincible. We are human, and that we will make mistakes. This humility is a important quality because it opens us up to learning. When we recognize that we are more willing to seek help, and more willing to adjust. Failure helps us become better listeners, more empathetic, and more understanding of our struggles. It reminds us that everyone, no matter how successful, has experienced failure. Embracing failure also means letting go of the fear of judgment. Many of us are afraid to fail because we fear how others will perceive us. We worry that failing will make us look weak, incompetent, or unworthy of respect. But when we stop worrying about the judgment of others and instead focus on the lessons that failure provides, we free ourselves from this paralyzing fear. Failure is not a reflection of who we are as individuals. It is simply a part of the process. When we embrace failure as a natural and inevitable part of growth, we stop caring so much about how others see us and focus more on what we can learn from the experience. Failure also allows us to reframe our definition of success. In a society that often equates success with perfection or instant achievement, it's easy to forget that success is a process. It's about progress, not perfection. Every failure is a step forward on the path to success, and each setback is an opportunity to refine our approach, sharpen our skills, and grow stronger. When we embrace failure, we redefine success as the ability to keep learning, growing, and improving, rather than simply achieving a certain outcome. Success is not about avoiding failure, but about how we respond to it and what we do with the lessons we learn along the way. In addition, failure helps us to cultivate a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed over time through hard work, dedication, and learning. Those with a growth mindset see failure not as a reflection of their abilities, but as an opportunity to grow and improve. They understand that skills can be developed, mistakes can be corrected, and setbacks can be overcome. When we embrace failure as a learning opportunity, we cultivate a growth mindset that encourages us to keep improving, no matter how many times we fall. Finally, embracing failure allows us to live with more freedom. When we are no longer afraid of failure, we are free to take action, try new things, and push ourselves beyond our limits. We become less paralyzed by fear and more motivated by the possibility of growth. This freedom enables us to explore new opportunities, pursue our passions, and take on challenges that we might have once avoided. It's only by embracing failure that we can truly live without limits, knowing that no matter what happens, we will learn, adapt, and grow stronger. In the end, failure is not something to be feared, avoided, or resented. It is a necessary part of the journey toward success. By embracing failure as a learning opportunity, we can unlock our full potential, develop resilience, and build the courage to take risks, pursue our dreams, and keep moving forward. The people we choose to spend our time with have an incredible influence on who we are, how we think, and the direction our lives take. Our environment shapes us in ways we often don't realize. This is why the people we surround ourselves with are not just a reflection of who we are, they also play a critical role in shaping who we become. The importance of surrounding ourselves with people who inspire us cannot be overstated, because inspiration is a powerful catalyst for growth, motivation, and success. When we are around people who challenge us to be better, who encourage us to dream bigger, and who push us to think differently, we begin to see new possibilities for ourselves. Inspiration is contagious. When you are surrounded by people who are passionate, ambitious, and dedicated to their own growth, you can't help but be influenced by their energy. You begin to adopt some of their mindset, their habits, and their values. It's like being in an ecosystem of motivation where each individual's progress feeds into the progress of everyone else. This kind of environment propels you to aim higher and work harder, simply because the people around you believe in the potential of what's possible, not just what's comfortable. One of the most powerful aspects of surrounding yourself with inspiration often comes from seeing someone else take on a challenge or achieve something that seemed impossible. It helps you realize that what you thought was out of reach is actually within your grasp. People who inspire you open your eyes to new ways of thinking, new ideas, and new approaches that you might never have considered on your own. They introduce you to different ways of solving problems, different philosophies, and even different life paths that you may never have imagined were possible for you. When we are surrounded by individuals who inspire us, we start to feel like we can push through limitations we once thought were unbreakable. These people show us that failure is not an end, but a stepping stone on the path to success. Go do the things you want to do. They demonstrate that perseverance, creativity, and resilience can overcome almost any challenge. Their example serves as a constant reminder that there is always room for growth and improvement, no matter where we are starting from. Being in the presence of individuals who have overcome adversity, pushed boundaries, and achieved greatness provides the inspiration needed to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. In addition to inspiring us to reach for new heights, people who inspire us help us build a sense of accountability. They remind us of our potential and push us to take action. It's easy to get comfortable, to become complacent, and to let our dreams sit on the shelf when we aren't surrounded by people who hold us to a higher standard. But when we have inspiring people in our lives, whether they are friends, mentors, colleagues, or role models, they constantly challenge us to keep going, to stay committed to our goals, and to hold ourselves accountable. They don't let us settle for mediocrity, and they believe in us even when we might doubt ourselves. Surrounding yourself with inspiring people also encourages a culture of continuous learning. Inspiration often comes from seeing others' knowledge, expertise, and dedication to improvement. When you are in the presence of people who are always learning, evolving, and seeking new ways to grow, it motivates you to do the same. Whether it's reading more books, attending new seminars, exploring new skills, or engaging in deep conversations, people who inspire you push you to become a better version of yourself by constantly encouraging you to expand your mind and your abilities. The idea of never stopping learning becomes ingrained in your mindset because the people around you live it every day. This shared commitment to growth creates an environment where learning is not just a personal pursuit, but a collective endeavor. Another significant aspect of being surrounded by inspiring individuals is that it provides a sense of belonging. When you surround yourself with people who inspire you, you often find a community of like-minded individuals who share your values, passions, and goals. This connection is more than just friendship. It's a deep mutual understanding that drives each person to encourage and uplift the other. There's a sense of camaraderie where everyone is working toward a common vision of growth, success, and impact. In these environments, everyone's progress feels meaningful because you are all on this journey together. You celebrate each other's successes, learn from each other's setbacks, and share in the collective energy of progress. Inspiring people also provide you with valuable perspectives during difficult times. When you encounter setbacks, doubt, or struggle, having people around you who have already navigated challenges can make all the difference. They offer wisdom from their own experiences and remind you that struggles are part of the process, not obstacles to your success. Their perspective helps you reframe difficulties, learn from them, and keep moving forward with renewed purpose and determination. Their unwavering belief in your potential can be the encouragement you need when you are faced with self-doubt or uncertainty. In conclusion, the journey toward personal and professional growth is not a one-time effort, but a daily commitment. By focusing on the small, consistent actions that drive long-term success, we set ourselves up for continuous improvement. From starting with a clear why and embracing the power of consistency, to staying focused on growth, reflecting on our actions, and learning from failures. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in shaping the individuals we become. Self-reflection allows us to identify areas for improvement and better align our actions with our goals. Consistency over perfection keeps us grounded in the process, reminding us that incremental progress is more powerful than unattainable ideals. Focusing on growth, not results, encourages us to take the time to learn, experiment, and expand without getting discouraged by immediate outcomes. Embracing failures as learning opportunities teaches us that setbacks are not the end, but a stepping stone toward greater understanding and achievement. And surrounding ourselves with inspiring individuals creates an environment of accountability, passion, and shared growth, giving us the support and energy to keep moving forward. Each of these principles, when applied daily, forms the foundation for a fulfilling and purposeful life. The key is not to seek instant perfection, but to make incremental improvements, to learn, to adapt, and to stay committed to the process. Every small effort compounds over time, leading to profound transformation. The path to improvement isn't about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about the steady, consistent actions we take every single day.